Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Mark Lazelle. I'm the business website director at Healy Consultants Group, and we're sitting in Singapore with Simon Guidecock this afternoon. He's the Asia Pacific CEO for Healy Consultants. Good afternoon, Simon.
Good afternoon, Mark.
How are you doing?
Good, and you?
Yeah, fine, thanks.
Good New Year.
Happy New Year to you too. Simon, we are sitting in Singapore. Australia is a country which many of our clients choose to set up businesses in. And it's geographically within our scope of operations. I believe you're going to sit this afternoon and tell us a little bit about Australia business setup and how it pans out, particularly with reference to an engagement we completed in 2021. Is that correct?
That's correct. We had an engagement for one of our clients who requested to set up in multiple countries in Asia Pacific: Korea, Philippines, Pakistan, Singapore, Thailand, and Australia. And I'm here today with you to speak about the Australia component of that project.
Okay, and just give me a brief rundown as to how typical Australia business setup pans out. How does it normally take place? Given that what we understand is it's a relatively straightforward
process. That's correct. I mean, we have multiple projects in Australia every year because it's a popular country with investors in general and customers in particular. And as you said it yourself, setting up a company in Australia is a very simple process. The setup can be completed within 2 weeks. All can be done online. There's no need to travel to Australia at all. The only requirement that is not necessarily one that can easily meet somebody from outside of Australia is to appoint one resident director. So one resident director is required on the local company laws, and usually clients who are not able to meet such requirement will request us to provide so-called nominee director. That is to say, a passive director will not be involved in the day-to-day management of the business, will not be bank signatory, and will is only appointed to meet, to allow the company to meet that requirement of having a director at all times in Australia.
Okay, you mentioned their bank signatory. I presume most of our clients in this particular case, the engagement you're talking about, did they require us to open an Australia corporate bank account?
Yes, they did. I would say that it's actually so. Incorporation is straightforward. Opening a bank account is not. In Australia, we usually take 2 to 3 months because, first of all, banks are very wary of clients applying without a local bank signatory. So basically, there's 2 solutions for us to assist our clients with this. First solution is to appoint our local nominee director also as bank signatory, but on one hand that comes with additional fees. On the other hand, many of our clients are not necessarily comfortable with appointing even a nominee provided by our side as signatory to their bank account for obvious reasons. So usually, I mean, we will negotiate with banks to get their approval to proceed with the appointment of our overseas client as a bank signatory, but that results usually in more time frame to open a bank account, and it takes 2, 3, sometimes 4 months to get approval from the bank and release the corporate bank account number.
Okay. Finally, we try and keep these videos fairly short, but has the client engaged us to assist with their annual accounting and tax obligations as well?
They did last year, and we are in the process of renewing such service this year again.
Okay.
I'm fairly sure that they will renew with us because they were satisfied with our services last year.
And in a very quick nutshell, how does a typical sort of like accounting and tax engagement pan out for Australia?
So this, I mean, depends a little bit on the profile of the client. If the client happens to have staff and provide services or products to Australian customers, there's monthly obligation, notably with regards to payroll. You need to declare, to file a certain number of returns related to your employees. There's also so it's called BIS in Australia. It's the equivalent of VAT or GST in other countries. That need to be filed, so it depends a little bit on the company, but usually every 2 months or every month or every quarter. Otherwise, there's the obligation to file, like in most countries in the world, financial statements, sometimes audited if you're a larger business, a corporate income tax return, and some annual reconciliation returns.
Okay.
So we can assist with both or either of these tasks.
All right. Thank you for this interesting summary, Simon. Thank you very much.
Welcome, Mark.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.